the adjustment phase of love. From both psychology and human needs, the better someone is at relationships, the more tiring it can feel. Because just like school or career, you want to climb higher. At first, everything is exciting. You give your best energy, eager to impress. That honeymoon phase feels effortless, but in truth, it has little depth. You're only falling for the filtered, perfect version of each other. Real relationships begin when the masks drop, when the energy fades, when habits clash, when flaws surface. That's where the hardship begins. Love evolves from liking to loving, and that requires work, self-reflection, adjustment, and communication. It's exhausting because you and your partner come from different families, different patterns, different ways of thinking and behaving. Even if your values align, there will always be friction. The point isn't to change them, but to express your feelings in a non-attacking way they can understand, while guiding them to do the same. Everyone loves differently. What you give may not be what they need, and vice versa. But here's the trap. Instead of reflecting on ourselves, we love to blame. They don't care. They don't meet my needs. Yet often we too are hurting them without noticing. Words, silences, or coldness can push them away. If no one speaks up, resentment grows. Misunderstanding replaces closeness. That's why long-term love requires communication and emotional maturity. No one can read your mind. Couples who last decades didn't skip the exhaustion stage. They endured arguments, adjustments, reconciliation, until they fit like gears, accepting flaws while holding on to love. Many relationships break because communication fails, either through blame and sarcasm or avoidance and silence. The truth is, love is dynamic. Feelings rise and fall depending on energy, stress, or circumstances. Comparing everything to the honeymoon stage is a mistake. The more you search for proof that love is fading, the more insecure you'll feel. To love is to open your life, to share time, energy, and responsibility. That's not easy. You must first be responsible for yourself, your wounds, your triggers, your growth. If you simply wait for a perfect partner who always understands and adjusts, the relationship won't last. Because their needs matter too, and ignored sacrifices always resurface. The adjustment stage of love is tiring, but it's the doorway to lasting sweetness. First tiring, then sweet. Sweeter, easier, freer, as you both become your real selves. Skip this stage and you'll forever chase novelty, switching partners, stuck in shallow romances, or living in false intimacy. Many people fail because they believe love shouldn't be tiring, but that's an illusion. Love requires growth, and growth itself is tiring and painful.
Today, I'm going to talk about
rumination in psychology. If you often can't control yourself from thinking about unhappy things, constantly falling into painful memories, and then endlessly blaming yourself, wondering if the outcome might have been better if only you had acted differently. What does that mean? It means you've already fallen into the trap of rumination. Have you ever tortured yourself like this, replaying the same scene over and over in your mind while criticizing yourself nonstop? For example, something happened between you and your girlfriend during the day, and afterward, your brain can't stop thinking, did I do something wrong? Is she unhappy because of me? Or at work or in school, a small mistake gets you criticized by your boss or teacher. The whole day, your mind keeps replaying that mistake, scolding yourself. How could I be so useless? I can't even do this small thing right. Are others secretly laughing at me? The more you think, the worse you feel, and the more worthless you believe you are. Your brain replays the same clip again and again, while your self-blame grows stronger. This is a classic example of rumination. From a psychological perspective, rumination is like a chronic form of self-torture. The more you repeat past details in your mind, the more you stab yourself today with yesterday's knife. The scariest part? No matter how hard you try, you can't control it. Why do you get stuck in this state? Because there's always a voice inside saying, this is all my fault. It makes you shoulder all the blame, thinking that if you just keep reflecting and regretting, you can make up for mistakes and fix everything. You are too harsh on yourself, unable to tolerate even the smallest flaws or failures. Even when others have long moved on, you still cling tightly to the past. So how do we escape this vicious cycle of rumination? First, you must admit the past cannot be changed. No matter how many what-ifs you ask, they won't rewrite reality. Instead of asking, what if I hadn't done that? Would things be better? Ask yourself, what can I do now? Only then can you shift your focus from the past to the future. Second, try to forgive yourself. To err is human. You already did your best. Mistakes and failures are part of life. Rather than holding on endlessly to the past, treat yourself like a friend. Give yourself a hug and say, it's okay. You tried your best. When you learn to view yourself with compassion, you can finally let go. Then, whenever negative thoughts strike, bring your attention back to the present moment. Take a deep breath and tell yourself, it's okay. This is normal. That moment has already passed. I want to save my energy for today. Do something small to shift your focus. Clean your room or go out for a walk. Get your body moving so you don't stay trapped in the whirlpool of pain. Gradually, you'll notice change. The memory that once cut your heart like a knife will one day return without hurting as much. The guilt that once tortured you day and night will one day no longer appear. You'll once again feel the small joys of daily life and slowly believe that you have the courage to embrace the future. At that moment, you'll realize the lock that held you back was always yourself. And now you've finally opened it. Letting yourself go is the best farewell to the past and the best beginning for the future. But when your worth becomes tied to your efficiency, time stops being something you live in and becomes something you're constantly fighting. That guilt you feel when you're not being productive, that's not discipline, it's fear. Berkman says, our obsession with more is just avoidance. If we're busy enough, we don't have to ask, is what I'm doing actually meaningful? We distract ourselves and with work, with screens, to avoid the truth. We only get one moment at a time. Your life is only about 4,000 weeks long. You'll never finish everything. You'll never be fully prepared. All you really have is now. Even if you check off one task after another, there's always another list waiting. You're caught in what Oliver Berkman calls the efficiency trap. Life is an endless stream of problems. Being more productive doesn't give you control. It just raises the bar. Why are we stuck in this cycle? Because deep down, we crave certainty. We try to tame time with schedules, with systems, with perfect plans. We believe that if we manage time well enough, we can somehow master the chaos of existence. Planning isn't the problem. We replay that awkward moment again and again. We walk into stores terrified the clerk is judging us. We answer a question wrong in class and feel like we'll never live it down. But guess what? You're not the star of everyone else's story. You're just a background character, like they are in yours, and that's actually freeing. You don't need to walk perfectly, dress flawlessly, or perform your life like a reality show. You just need to show up for you. So next time your brain says, everyone's watching, remind yourself, no one's really watching that hard. And even if they are, you're allowed to exist, mess up, and still be worthy, without their permission. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like everyone was staring at you? Like your every move, every word, every little awkward gesture was under a spotlight? That's not just your imagination. It's something psychologists call the spotlight effect. It makes us believe that people notice our mistakes way more than they actually do. But here's the truth. Most people are too busy worrying about themselves to truly notice you. You trip on the sidewalk? You stumble on a word? To you, it feels like a big deal. To others, they probably forget it 5 seconds later. And still, we obsess.